Amici, amiche bellissime e bellissimi, you wonderful people, welcome back to the only restaurant capable to serve you the best dishes with those paranormal twists and debunks capable of enhancing your culinary experience. And for today, we need to once again travel, and this time we go closer to my hometown, Varese, and its province. And to be more specific, we go to Cairate, home of a dessert made with love, dough and walnuts, connected to a local legend of a ghost of a Longobardian queen, Munigund. Today, I present to you La Treccia di Munigund, a recipe straight from the medieval period. Trust me, this dessert will be very easy to digest. Enjoy it best with a nice cup of espresso and friends, of course. Now, hold your horses. Before we continue, I need to ask you a huge favor, my dear beloved ones. I need you to climb to the third rope and elbow drop that like button in pure macho man style. Yeah. And if you truly want to be the cream of the crop, do not forget, if you enjoy my content, of course, to subscribe and share with others. I'd appreciate it so much. With this out of the way, we can now proceed, guys. So, the place we are going to talk about today is the Monastery of Santa Maria Assunta in Cairate, province of Varese. This place is property of the town hall itself. Once a symbol of Christianity, it is now turned into a museum. In fact, inside you can find works of art such as this affresco from Aurelio Lucini, and then archaeological discoveries containing finds spanning from the 2nd century CE onward. I mean, a place to visit, a place who should be seen at least once in your lifetime, if you have the chance, of course. I personally was there during 2 school trips, and no, I don't have picture of my younger self to show to you, unfortunately. Come on guys, it was the 90s, I was a kid at the time, and I had different interest than taking pictures of wonders of art and archaeology. I would say that my priority list was a little bit different than that. Yeah, good memories. I was young. Ale, stay focused, damn it. We are here for paranormal claims to analyze. Okay. The place is home of a legend. Locals say that within its walls, the ghost of Queen Munigund, ruler of the Longobardi, roams the hallways of this once consecrated spot, restless and incapable of passing over. And this time we are not facing, for once, an hostile entity. In fact, people who have witnessed the apparition of the queen say that she tends to appear in front of couples in love. Very peculiar and romantic indeed. Apparently this ghost has a soft spot for couples in love. So sweet, Munigund. Then we have other claims of more common ghost activities. For example, some folks said that they saw a figure of a woman peeking out from a window. Sometimes the same female figure was seen strolling around the empty hallways. Noises such as steps echoes in the empty rooms of the monastery in the night. Laments and voices were also heard during those windless days. Well, pretty standard ghost activity if you ask me. But are there evidence to back up these claims? Well, in recent years, precisely in 2012, during the restoration of the place, a worker managed to capture this picture of the entity. Was it the queen herself? Who knows? But even TV shows such as Monastery took notice of the picture posted by Paolo Mazzucchelli, mayor of Cairate, and they were eager to go and check the place out for themselves in order to see if the claims were indeed real. Beside Monastery, there was somebody else going to visit the place and investigate it? Yes, of course. In 2016, some paranormal investigators went to check the place out. I mean, apparently this event was sufficiently interesting that an article online covered the news, advertising also the investigation. Now, out of curiosity, let's see who these other investigators are. Italian Paranormal Research. Responsible for investigations such as this, and this. And then Wells? Oh, my favorite, the Ghost Note crew, responsible for investigations such as this, and this. No. So, judging by the titles of their video alone, I would say pretty reliable. If you consider that the Ghost Note crew have a series of videos in regards of an haunted doll, well, allow me to elaborate on this one. They claim to be in possession of an actual crime evidence, a clown doll which belonged to Michel Fourniret. This guy is responsible for unaliving 8 girls, and said dolls were his calling card. Of course, as said, according to them, the doll is haunted by the ghost of the serial killer himself, who passed out in 2021. The videos they produce about this topic span from cringe to utterly hilarious. So, in case in the future you want me to make a full video about them, please let me know in the comment. I will do what I can. Going back to what I was saying, let's put it this way. Both mentioned teams, in my opinion, have the same scientific approach as Twin Paranormal. And that's all I say before I get swarmed by a horde of teens armed with keyboards and an internet connection, ready to go on their next debunker hunt. Pretty scary if you ask me. Going back to the topic, let's talk about the legend. So, the legend of this place, the story is tied very closely to Christian religion, as you might have guessed. A sick queen seeking for help and the miraculous healing courtesy of the waters of a stream in the vicinity. Now, get comfy guys, because it's bedtime story. Long time ago, there was a noble Rogobardian princess. Munigund was her name. She was visiting the vast area of what is now the province of Varese. In fact, that area was under the rule of her people, and like any good respectable princess, she was fulfilling her royal duties by mixing up with common folks. But this beautiful lady was terribly sick. So sick, in fact, that she was close to have a personal appointment with the Grim Reaper itself. One day, while doing said royalist-related stuff, she was approached by a gentle old lady who, by just looking at the poor princess, she immediately understood that the girl didn't have much time to live. Worried, but with a firm and yet soothing voice, the old lady said, "My dear, I know your troubles, and my poor old heart cannot stand that someone so young is so close to meet her premature demise because of this terrible illness that you so hard are trying to hide. Fear not, my child," she said, "because I came here with hope. You see, I live in a place in the vicinity of Cairate, near Pergoro. There, and only there, you can find a stream filled with the purest of water, and these waters have healing powers, my child." The old lady smiled at her and slowly started to walk away, but before she bid farewell, she turned to the princess, smiled again, and said, "Come and pay me a visit. I am mostly positive that after you drink the waters, you will feel better." Then she left. Munigund was surprised, and yet she felt she could trust the old lady. After all, what has she got to lose? Armed with faith in her heart, she traveled to the area of Cairate. The stream of water was exactly where the lady said it was. With her remaining strength, she kneeled and scooped up some water with her hands and drank. Short after the first few sips, she could feel a sense of calmness in her heart, and this sensation was spreading across her body like a fresh summer breeze. The old lady did not lie, she thought. She was starting to feel better. She could feel her strength growing by the second, and her soul was filled with an unholy sense of joy. "A miracle!" she shouted. "I take vow." She then proceeded, while looking straight in the sky, "To the lady who lives in the heavens, grant me life, my lady, and I will devote myself to you and you only, and in your name I will build a monastery." And to seal the deal, she drank once again, and the illness was defeated. And soon after, the construction of the monastery started. What a beautiful tale this is. And for the sake of narration, I may have enriched this story a little, but just a little bit, not that much. But roughly this is what our grandparents told us about the legend of Munigund. Now, let's ask ourselves the question, is this story true? After all legends are based in some real fact, right? In this case, no, unfortunately. I told you at the beginning that the monastery contains findings dating back from the 2nd century CE. In fact, before the monastery was even founded, in that specific area there was a granary. During Roman times we're talking about. In the same area there was also a necropolis. According to historians, this remained a grave site even after the Longobardian occupation, and the monastery itself was founded by another ruler, King Liuprando of the Longobardi, at the end of the 9th century, and it was immediately given into custody to the Bishop of Pavia. During the upcoming centuries, the monastery went through several renovations and it was further expanded. So why the legend tells a tale of a queen/princess and not a king?
Good question. You are a good question.
The legend itself of the Longobardian queen sparked thanks to the finding of a sarcophagus discovered during an excavation in the 1400s, containing the remains of a woman dressed with the typical clothing of a noble one. There is no documentation attesting or corroborating that a queen of that name ever existed, says here Il Giornale. Once again, we are facing a situation with a lot of claims and nothing substantial to back it up, not to mention the historical facts don't match. Wait a moment, you sneaky Italian smarty pants. Aren't we forgetting something here? What about the picture that you showed us earlier? I mean, even the mayor of Cairate, as you said, Paolo Mazzucchelli, shared the picture on Facebook. That is for sure a strong avid photoshopped.
No shit, Sherlock!
Of course it was photoshopped. I mean, everyone has deduced it already, but this picture was analyzed by the Hunter brothers and the Pari, and this is what they had to say about it. "We have conducted the spectrographic analysis of the picture. The image was indeed manipulated. There are several compression signatures, among these Photoshop 7.0 and GIMP. The original image was obtained through Sony Cybershot U and subsequently modified with Photoshop, in which the author put the ghostly image we see in the picture. Later, other software were used, such as freeware GIMP, in order to shrink and compress between 60 and 63% the original in order to cover the various editing effects." Just to put you in perspective, even the crew of Misteri, presumably formed by experts, they could not understand that this picture was a fake. Amazing! And the other two ghost hunting teams? Well, they found, of course, nothing. Psst, come here. It was before the time of clickbaity video titles, so I assume that at the time they were taking these huntings seriously. So, no ghost of Munigund, I'm afraid. No hauntings, no paranormal activities, nothing. But to be fair, in this specific case, this claim it's not harmful at all. I mean, the legend of the ghost was able to spark enough interest that people started to visit the place. The monastery went, as said, through another renewal, and look at it. They don't offer only trips and visits to see archaeological findings, art, etc. But I also have other activities in order to appeal to the wannabe Sherlock Holmes. An escape room event, not tied to the ghost, I believe, but a fun activity nonetheless. But in my opinion, the biggest treasure that this place has to offer to visitors is the dedication of the volunteers of the PRO LOCO of Cairate, a non-profit organization, and every weekend these fantastic folks welcome all the visitors and feel their thirst of knowledge, guiding them through the museum, showing the findings, the art, and of course, Wednesday evenings it's for the escape room. And these fantastic volunteers guide our detectives into solving the mystery of the monastery. You know, sometimes there are claims that are not worth to be debunked, because said claims can unite people thanks to the love they share for the local legends and history. And the monastery of Santa Maria Assunta is this love for the people of Cairate. What a wonderful story it was! I hope you agree with me, and thanks once again to you, bellissimi e bellissime, for sharing a piece of this treccia and a coffee with me, and also with the lovely people of Cairate, to whom I say, siete semplicemente fantastici. And I thank you from the very bottom of my heart. And with this note, my friends, I bid you a warm farewell, and I hope to see you next time in my restaurant. Ciao!